Hello YouTube fans, this is TheSkullKlown. I just want to show you some of my drawings I've done in this book. I've showed drawings before on this channel before. I just haven't done it in years and shit like that. So I'm just going to show you it. It's not a lot, you know, it's not like 1,000 pages and shit like that. It's like about 11 pages. So I'll just show you some of the drawings I had. You know, I like to make my own covers and shit. But here's one right here. Frankenstein's monster. Obviously the lightning and all that. I took homage from what he really looks like in the book, the Mary Shelley book, but I made my little own classic universal cloak, pants, shoes. Here with the hair from what he's depicted in the book, obviously, and then the scars are literally a reference to Chucky. The bolts of his neck are also from the Universal Monster movie. And this right here, this is another bolt also. But this is a reference to if you guys played Kingdom Hearts and you played and you went to Halloween Town, you see Goofy, he's wearing literally a freaking nail on top of his head. So yeah, there's a lot of inspirations in here of this design. I probably should have never made, you know, have him with that Chucky face, but fuck it, I didn't care. I didn't mind it. So, I mean, because he's Frankenstein, he's made from different parts of people, so it kind of makes sense, Frankenstein's monster, to be that way. So, it's funny, too, because you could have called him Frankenstein, because that's what the creator is called. Of course, he's going to name his son that, right? You know? But I just called him Frankenstein's monster, man, or just the monster. But either way, it's just fine. I was just bored one day to draw some of these stuff. You can tell the date here. So, let's go here. Dracula. I want to do something new with Dracula. Obviously, this is paying homage to, what is it? What's that movie called? You guys know what I'm talking about. If you've seen what this looks like, it's cool. You know what it is. I'm forgetting it right now. I did put the serpent on top of his head, making him look like a Final Fantasy boss from Chaos in Final Fantasy 1. So there's that. You got a little bat tail Dracula. This right here, I want to do a little bit different from Dracula. You always have him depicted of having like a widow's peak. He's this handsome dude. Basically, a lot of people forget about that. That Dracula is actually not ugly. He's actually a pretty handsome dude. But I made the almost like the cape, like the wings and stuff like that. I actually thought that was pretty cool. Keep the fingers almost like Freddy Krueger, but also slash Nosferatu, which would make sense. You got his little goatee and mustache and stuff like that, which he did had, I believe. And he has just a slit eye because he's a vampire, basically. So there's that. And I just wanted to draw like some of the Universal monster movies that I grew up with, or we all know and love about it. So Bram Stoker's Dracula, that's what that design is from. So yeah, because I was going to draw him in the background more of his final form, kind of like what you see in Fight Night, when the vampire becomes like its final form, and it's like this puppetry of like this vampire monster. It's really fucking cool if you haven't seen that movie. I haven't seen the full movie of it, but I've seen bits and pieces of it. But that scene alone, I remember that scene like crazy. Quasimodo, the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Now, this is obviously an homage to the Universal one. I made him more of a hunchback. You can tell that his arm is kind of like maybe limped or bent, you know? Maybe while he's walking, it's just limping, like it's just moving side to side like that, like it's broken or something like that. And then he has basically his eyeball is basically blind. He's blind from this one. But you can see right here that in the future, he's going to get blinded here too. So, yeah. Poor Quasimodo. So, I haven't seen the original Hunchback of Notre Dame from Universal. I do own it, but I haven't seen it. But, I just like I wanted to do something new instead of drawing something that everyone will already know about, obviously. Because a lot of people forget that Quasimodo is part of the Universal Monsters. He's probably one of the first. If not, it was the Man Who Laughs. It was one of those two. So, it's funny, too, because people have the collection of the Universal Monsters, not realizing that's not the full collection. There's more. And even, yeah, there's more before we got the classic Universal Monsters, like with Dracula and Frankenstein. So, yeah, you'd be surprised. I was surprised, too, when I found that out. Because he's not in the collection Universal Monsters, from what I can tell. I believe. So let's keep going. The Wolfman. Now, I did a lot of I take a lot of liberties for my drawings of these characters, obviously. But the Wolfman is just a regular, obviously, guy from the 1930s. Obviously, made him with white eyes because I thought it would be pretty cool and badass, and probably menacing too. And it could be red or white, you know, depending on how you guys feel. Me, I would just leave it white if I was going to color it and stuff like that. And the tail, I always thought it would be cool. Like, when I was drawing it, I was literally telling myself, you know, it'd be cool if his tail actually has a mouth. Make him more of like the form of like a horror icon that became like an HP Lovecraft monster for no reason, you know? It's like, you're just a regular wolf. Then you look at his tail, you'll be like, what kind of fucking cosmic horror is this shit? You know? So something like that. I wanted to like at least give it my own style. Because how much of styles you can make of the Wolfman until it's like almost the same shit. You know, you got to stand out a little bit, you know? So there is that. More traditional as a Wolfman, you know, he's not on his hind legs. He's mostly just walking on his 2 front feet. But I always like that version of the Wolfman. I'm not really a big fan of Wolfmen when they're on their feet, basically, on 4 of their legs and walking. I mean, I don't hate that concept. I mean, I love freaking werewolf, what is it? What's that called? Werewolf at London or some shit? I forgot. Damn it, I forgot that movie. I have Google right here. Let me see. Let's see. Let's see. Sorry, guys. Let's see. Sorry, guys. I really gotta know before I fuck up with this shit. I just have to. No, not Logan, guys. Where do you get London with Logan? Does that make sense? But Werewolf After London, I believe, right? Hold on, guys. I want to say London After Midnight, but no, that's a different movie. I should draw that. But I haven't. But you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm wasting your time here. But anyways, I hope you like the design. Hope you like the designs I have so far. You know, I was thinking a lot with Quasimodo, but I'm like, what could you do more? You know, literally, what could you do more with Quasimodo? You know, because I wanted to do it simple but effective. You know, so and get my own little detail. You know, especially with Dracula, you see he's not even walking; he's just fucking floating. You know, giving him this mystique aura. You know, it's like, oh, he's a nice gentleman. Meanwhile, while he's walking, he's floating. You're like, what the fuck? So, all right, the next one I think you guys are gonna like, The Bride of Frankenstein's Monster, and I just love that I named it like that. I could have just called it The Bride, but let's be honest. Why would you just call it The Bride? Let's just call it the Bride of the Frankenstein's Monster. I know that's a long title, but fuck it, I don't care. This is my fucking character. This is my fucking drawing. I don't give a shit. So you do got the traditional hairstyle from back in the day, but I gave her like this little teardrop, obviously, and then you have that little like the Joker slash on a face there and shit. And which is cool. You see a bullet wound here showing that how she actually really died, or at least half of this body how it died. And right here, yes, there's a lightning bolt, but how could you, what is it? You could tell from the hair. You see what the hair looks like? You see how the hair is like a monster opening its mouth and shit like that? I thought about Godzilla, the of the legendary Godzilla. I'm like, would it be cool if her hair actually has the shape of the legendary Godzilla? You know, not completely like that, but almost close to it, you know? It's still hair at the end of the day. So, there it is. Right there. You know, give her a unique beauty, unique style, but also homage to the classics, basically. Overall, this is not really different from all the other ones I have obviously have done. You know, I know Quasimodo is very simple, but she's very simple too, the Bride of Frankenstein. So Very simple, but you could tell if you really look really hard, you could tell some of the differences. Like she has that Joker slash mouth, basically a bullet to the head, the teardrop, you know. So it's really cool. It gives that more goth look and that more I guess central look for her, basically more tragic look for her. Because be honest, I think we can all agree that the bride of Frankenstein, it's a very tragic character. I think her name is Elizabeth in the book, basically. So yeah, she's a very tragic character when she literally becomes what you see in the original movie and also in some Frankenstein movies. So the next one is Pinocchio. I want to do something fantasy. So, and this is the final part of Pinocchio when he's in that pleasure island or treasure island. I don't know what's called, but either you guys know what I'm talking about. That place that kidnaps kids. Yeah, in that movie and also in the book. But I decided to keep the donkey ears and the donkey tail on Pinocchio. This will show him by the end of the movie, obviously. So I decided to keep that look by the end of the movie because, to be honest, I kind of like the look. To be quite honest with you, I know it's kind of bad when you really think about it because this look is very horrifying when you really think about it. Because in Pinocchio, especially the original Disney version, the kids are turning into donkeys, and the ones that are quiet are fully corrupted of losing their childhood innocence, and the ones that can still talk haven't lost their childhood innocence yet. So they're getting more what is it? They'll become more of a slave, basically. I don't want to say it because I don't want YouTube to take away my channel, but you guys know if you watch the Pinocchio movie, you know how that shit is. And it just goes to show that Pinocchio never lost his innocence, basically. But still, if he stood there in Pleasure Island, he probably would have lost his innocence and would have gotten tortured to the point that he would have lost his innocence, basically. So this is him right after he gets out of there, and he looks like that, and he saves obviously Geppetto and all that. This is like a homage of the book, the Disney version, and my little version of it. So, oh, and did you know that in the book, his hat is actually bread? Yeah, that hat goes through so much in the freaking book, but yet it never fucking disintegrates or decays or some shit. He never fucking eats it either. So I think that's kind of funny. But yeah, that's it. I just wanted to do some fairy tales and shit like that. The next one. This one is literally a ripoff of the Hansel and Gretel from the Grimm Fairy Tales one. I had to look at the face. Yeah, I had to look at the face of the Grimm Fairy Tales book, and I try to replicate it. Hopefully, it looked fine. I did give more blemishes, pimples, and all that on the witch because she's a witch, obviously. And I thought of something very differently. Since the witch in the Grimm Fairy Tales has crutches, I decided to just change the crutches to spike crutches. That way, she could just spike her victims, and she has like candy and all that, cookies in her pocket. And then I put a broom right behind her, mainly because she's actually blind in the book. So I don't know if there's other interpretations of Hansel and Gretel that do this to the witch, but I'm doing it to my witch. It's literally the same thing as the Grimm Fairy Tales version. The only difference is spike crutches and a broom, mainly because, hey, I mean, if she's blind, she can just use it to fly. But then there's also a debate of like, okay, if she's going to use the broom to go after the kids, if she can use it to fly because she can't see, but why would she still use the broom if she can't see? What the fuck is that? You know? So it's kind of contradicting what I'm doing with this design, but I was like, fuck it, I don't care. I don't give a shit. Like, I don't get. You could just, hey, at that point, I'll probably just draw a third eye on her or something like that. She could just sense it with her mind's eye, you know? So, so tell me, you guys, what you think so far and shit. But, anyways, moving on. The Mummy. So I took a lot of aspects from different mummy movies, obviously, and a lot of pharaohs from Egypt. You got the feathers here. You got the serpents here. Even the this is the casket. Got the serpent here. Then it has almost like a spike dagger. Yeah, almost like a spike sword and shit like that. Then there's like the sun in the middle. My own design of the sun. And yeah, very simple of the mummy, to be quite honest with you. I mean, how far you could go with the mummy look, but I like it. It's simple, and it still does stand out from all the other mummies that you've seen over the years, in my opinion. So at least for me, because I wanted to stand out, make it look different and new, but also familiar. So that's what I like to do with my different designs with these monsters. So there's that. Now this one's my favorite. The creature from the Black Lagoon, sea monster. Yes, if you guys know this reference right here of the creature from the Black Lagoon just swimming up and going to the boat, you deserve a cookie. You deserve a fucking cookie. All right, because when you really think about it, creature from the Black Lagoon was literally Jason Voorhees in Jaws before Jason Voorhees in Jaws. Let's just, and what? Yeah. I was going to mention Godzilla, but I think Godzilla was already around when this movie came out, I think. Hold on, because I know Godzilla came out in 1950s, right? So, let's see. Creature from the Black Lagoon. No, not from the freaking Black Lake. So, it came out... yeah, in the 1950s, 1954. Oh, I think that's the same year Godzilla came out. Also, well, look at that. Let's see, Godzilla... 1950... Yeah, 1954. I was right. I think Creature from the Black Lagoon came out first, though. I could be wrong. Let me see. Okay, so Godzilla came out in May... Oh, no. Sorry. Okay, where was the Japanese one released, guys? Why are you showing me different dates? The hell's wrong with you? Sorry about that, people. So, okay, the first Godzilla movie came out in 1954 on November 3rd. Okay. So, in the Creature from the Black Lagoon came out on... Oh, yeah. From February 12, 1954. A horror movie coming out in February? Nowadays, that's never heard of. Every time we have a horror movie that comes out in February or January, we all know that shit's going to be crap. But anyways, I like this. I will color these eventually, just not right now. Especially this one. This one I would have to draw everything here. Like, I would just have to color everything, on this, because he's in the ocean and shit. So I always like to do that. I'll just like to... I don't know. I like what I did here. That's just me. I wanted to be more creative with some of the stuff that I'm drawing these characters on, because if you notice the background, it's like, all right, he's in a lagoon. He's in his little temple and stuff like that. As you can see from these pictures, if you look at the background, she's at her house. Pinocchio is talking to one of the Undertaker rabbits. So, and I've always been a big fan of the Undertaker rabbits and Pinocchio, but I would never, if I was going to make a movie or video game or even a story of my own version of Pinocchio, I would not make the rabbits look like this. This is just a concept thing. So, you got the table here where she was, where the bride was born in. You got the Wolfman with the tree right there, because he's at the woods and shit like that, and Quasimodo with everything going in smoke around him. If you watched any of the Quasimodo movies, actually, especially the Disney version, I don't think you even have to watch the Universal version to get all the destruction of the buildings and fire and shit like that. Dracula, you really don't get nothing in Dracula. You just get a bat in the background and shit. And then with Frankenstein, you just get a tombstone and lightning. So, again, not that much, but it's something. It's something at least. It's something. So, all right, let's go to the next one. We're almost done here, guys. This was just a drawing that I did just for me to, how sometimes you just have one of those days and you just want to get that out of your system. So there was that. You can see the date that I put on this day. So anyways, here's this one. The Night of the Living Dead. So I wanted to do a lot. At first, it was just going to look like a regular zombie and not be what you see in this picture right now. You see the brain, there's a candle on top of its brain. He's holding a knife because in these movies they can carry weapons. You have the little genie bottle and the gin alcohol because in other folklores of the zombie or ghoul, they are all considered gin. Gin as in genie or gin as the alcohol, basically. So there was that. And this is an homage to my, what is it, the Shin Megami Teo that I use for what is it? Let's see. For me, let me see. There it is. Yeah, just to show you a comparison. So, just so you know, just to show you a comparison and shit like that. And then most people be like, what are these? These are not gills. I'm sorry, guys. These are they could be two things. Either what is it? Lizard scales or fish scales. So I decided to make them like almost like a hybrid of both, because why not? So I just wanted to do something new, make it stand out and more pop of the monster, basically, of the ghoul. So yeah, if I was gonna remake or do my own Night of the Living Dead, I most likely would have had something like this, you know. Probably would have been the main character. You know, one of the zombie movies of Ben, or was a Bob. I think Bob the Zombie or Ben the Zombie, one of those two, something like that. But you can tell from the background of this picture here. Look, you see this little oval shape here? I'm getting to that right now, and that is Ward of the Wards. I just drew this today. You could tell from the title. Yeah, I was just bored. Cause some of the tripods that I've seen in pictures, I'm not really a big fan of them. I'm not. I mean, it's just they are great. I love the designs on some of them, but other ones I'm like, eh. But then I was scrolling through the internet, and I've been seeing that that some people depict some of the tripods as like literally robots, like almost like humanoid robots that have this type of feature of like not H.P. Lovecraft, what's his name? R.J. Giger, almost. It's like that. So this is like an homage to, well, the original design of the tripods, but also a mix with Mechagodzilla and the octopi also, because if you you can see this can go down, and then this can probably extend its legs and arms and stuff like that, and it can move up like a jellyfish or a squid. So imagine that shit. Imagine this thing flying around, you know, not just in space or not just in the ocean, but literally in the air, but flying literally like a fucking squid or octopus or even like a jellyfish, you know? So I've always thought about that. I even got the eye down from the original. Made its mouth here, which is where the alien is at, looking out. But this can also be used as like a almost like an atomic breath. Then you got something up here that can use as a laser, and then obviously the tail is also a laser also. Because some of the depictions I've saw with the tripod, I've always seen like you know 2 arms and 3 legs. But sometimes I was like, what if that leg is actually a tail? The tail could still be used as a leg, but what if that tail is literally just what if that leg is just a tail, basically, you know? So something that I wanted to do, something different, something new. I know probably people are not gonna like this design just because the way I made it, but fuck it, I want to do something new and make it stand out, and there it is. There is that. So I was going to draw some tentacles, probably like if this opened, tentacles would have came out of it and grabbed people and stuff like that. Same thing with the other arm. I was even going to do with the tail also, but I decided to just keep it more simple and stuff. So basically. And the tail could probably do way more than just throw a fucking beam and shit like that. Because, you know, in the Steven Spielberg movie, they were sucking people out to get into the inside the ship. So this thing could have grabbed people and sucked them all in this little thing to bring them up to the main cockpit right here, you know? So something to think about, you know. Just want to explain my idea and what my thinking was when I was making this design. So, and the tail starts from here, from the back, goes up here, and then goes down there. And yes, there's like a little thing that helps the tail move up and down. Same thing with the neck area. So, there's that. So, and that's it. That's really it, guys. I didn't draw anything else more, as you can see. So, I just wanted to draw something because I was just, you know, just drawing. Sometimes I just like to draw sometimes, and maybe color them in later if I'm just like, fuck it. And this design of the head here is still an homage to the original tripod, but I want to go more of a beak look, kind of like what the octopi and squids look like, because they have beaks on them, obviously. So I decided to be like, all right, so make it have like a beak shape. And some of the depictions of the tripods, when you look at them, they're at least one of the original versions that has the eyeball like this. They're even though they almost look like a what's it called? What's that thing called? What the fuck? Why am I missing? I keep forgetting what's it called, man. Water tanks? Is that what they're called? Those water tanks? It's not even called water tanks, huh? Yeah, technically, yeah. Yeah, water tanks. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I was right. So in the original book, they had like heads like water tanks. So I took in, but if you really look at it, it almost looks like they have like that water tank almost looks like a beak a little bit, even though this side of the water tank has the same side as the other side, basically, in the original design. But I decided to just keep that image and then cut that a little bit and not fully make it into a water tank, obviously. So I decided to just do it halfway and make it almost kaiju-ish, obviously. And yes, it is, since these are like windows and stuff like that, and it can also be used as like a heat ray and shit, it does look like it's smiling at you, you know? Like, it's, the eye is menacing, then it's just like, imagine this like following you, chasing you, while it's staring at you with those big old eyes, and it has that sick, seductive smile, and it's still shooting at you like it doesn't give a fuck. So, and I did put the little, little nose snap here, like the squids have and stuff like that, and octopi's. So, yeah, that's really it. I want to go into detail of these things without fucking up anything. You know, is there any more detail I could do? Probably not. I think that's really good. I think we're fine. So, that's really it, guys. Yeah. Hope you guys enjoy my drawings with this. This is just me just fucking around. Really. It's not me really, yeah, it's just me fucking around, to be quite honest with you. I'm not really like, oh yeah, look at this, I'm such a master at drawing. I just like to fuck around. And I like to draw a lot, so. Especially when it comes to like personal shit that's happened in my life, and it's just like, I have to like, at least express myself. If not, I'm just gonna drive myself fucking crazy. So, yeah. I'll see you guys later, and be safe.